process, but I mean, having a staff, I told you guys this at the combine. I was very fortunate in my first year in this role at this job to have the staff that I have backing me and on side of me. It definitely makes this a lot smoother transition. And then to top that off now with the guys coming in and the guys hearing it, seeing it, doing it, believing in it, and then getting their feedback, it's all been very positive thus far.
What are the non-negotiables for playing in a Kelvin Sheppard defense? Like, what does your defense have to be about? What do those guys have to be about? What is non-negotiable?
Yeah, I told them the first thing first, you get down to the A's. And what I mean with the A's, it starts with your assignment. You have to know what to do. It's your alignment. You have to know where to be. It's the attention to detail. And then obviously the last thing is the execution. So what are we seeing when we hit the play button? Not what's coming out of your mouth and you telling us what you can do. It's showing us what you can do. And all the guys have bought into that. It's been a culture that's been here, set in place pretty much from the day I got here. And it's just carrying over and starting to emphasize certain things within our structure. But it all goes back to the little details within things in the new system now.
I think we all understand the impact that Dan and HG have had on you as you've made this rise through the ranks here. I'm just curious, David Correa has been a guy that's been with you for a long time at a couple different stops. What kind of impact has he had on you as a young kind of developing coach into this role?
Yep, the first thing first is the trust factor. That's a guy that I have blind trust in. A guy that's known me since 2014 as a player, who sat in the room with me, spent extra time with me as a fourth-year player, fifth-year player, trying to take that leap as a player. And he's just a selfless guy. Guy I've been around from that aspect. Then when I came here in 2018, my last year, he was in the room again. He's kind of that shadow I can't shake. So now it's a guy, as soon as I took over, me and Dan sat down, we talked about a plan for Dave, and I said that he's earned his due in this league. And a lot of people, he's been in the shadows for years. Dave's been doing this thing a long time. Him and Matty P go back to their Syracuse days, GAing together. And it's a name that nobody really knows. But his jobs on game day are critical. You're talking about the situational football. He's an expert at it. He's kind of the guy behind the scenes that kind of protects my blind spots in a way. He's seen it. He's done it on multiple different schemes and things like that. So his input is critical. But, again, the number one thing to me when I think about Dave Correa is a guy that I trust and a guy that I know that's in it for me to see the better. He's one of the first people that told me, I'm telling you, dude, like my first year, I'm 2 days in, you're going to be this, that, and that. I'm like, well, slow down. I'm trying to figure out this OLB coach thing first. And just that belief he's had in me is the same belief I have in him, but very trustworthy, dependable guy.
Kelvin, I asked Coach Rogers, if all goes well and he's able to stay healthy all season, what are you expecting from Marcus Davenport, and why do you have trust in what his role can be on this team?
Because I've seen it. We all know the only obstacle for Davenport is the health and availability. It's never had anything to do with his play. I'm talking about since he hit the scene as a first-round pick for the Saints. It's never been his play. It's always been the availability piece, like it is for every player. And he's had some setbacks in his career, but I've watched that player take no days off this offseason. He's been here just as long as the coaches have. And putting in the work, and his body looks different right now. I firmly believe in speaking with him. His mindset is different right now. And then it's on me to understand what he's been through and kind of put a gauge on him, especially early in the process. Because when you look at Marcus, he's a physical specimen that could do some things that guys of his size aren't supposed to be able to do. So it's me kind of meeting him in the middle and telling him from my view, this is what I see for you to try to kind of get to the long-term goal, which is to have him healthy in the postseason when we hit that stretch. And he's all in, but I have full faith in that player.
If you can share what new mindset are you seeing from him?
Just I would say the confidence piece and not holding back, not gauging, not throttling himself, training right now like he plans on being in the season in November, December, not kind of gauging to get there. He's training right now in preparation for, I'm doing this year. I'm going to be available. Now, there's things that happen on the grass that you can't control, but everything within his control, he's doing everything of his ability to make sure he's available.
Sean Dion is still pretty, young in his coaching career, but where do you think his potential is, just based on what you've seen from him so far, what you knew of him as a player?
Oh, everything. I mean, as far as the mental aspect that it takes to do the job that he's been thrusted into, the personality, the tenacity, the love of the game. He has every quality you look for. The same things that AG saw in me, I see in him. Now, we're not the same person. Just as I'm not AG, he's not me. So he has his own way of doing things, which I'm fully confident in. I'm not hovering over his shoulder. That's his room. That's his guys. And I've told him 1,000 times, run it the way you see fit. And he's doing an unbelievable job thus far. Just like me, just like anyone, when you get in a new position, there's going to be growing pains and learning pains. And he's working through those seamlessly. But that, I mean, I truly believe he's going to be another fast riser in this thing. I mean, I was just coaching him 3 years ago. So it's crazy. Like, it's kind of surreal. He told me the other day how, man, all the rooms, yes, sir, no, sir, coach, and stuff. And he's like, huh? Like, I'm Ham. Like, but no, it shows the respect factor that he's gained already, being new in his role. I told him that's a compliment, bro. When people your same age who really, quite frankly, is his peers, have that type of respect for you after a couple weeks of working together, it's a credit to him.
What's it been like having T-Choice around? He said you guys might throw hands during camp because it's going to be so competitive out there. Just what are those showdowns going to be like in training camp?
Oh, it's going to be great. Not only with him, Scotty, the whole gang. I know they're going to be waiting on me. I'm going to be waiting on them. But that's what drives this place, is that right there. And that's why he's fit in so well. It's like he's been here all along, I tell him. He's yelling down the hall. Scotty told me the other day, this dude is out of his mind. I'm like, I'm telling you, I don't think he's ever had a bad day. And if he has, he's never let that show when he walks into a building or when he walks into a locker room. He's always going to be the energetic guy, the motivating guy. But I tell everybody, he's a better human being than he is a football player or a coach. And that's why the players gravitate to him. That's why the teammates gravitate to him. That's why when I met him back in 2011 in a real setting, because I knew him from Atlanta, we crossed paths, but really got to deep dive and know him, that I got so close with him, because it's the person before the players, the person before anything you see as far as the accolade, and he treats them all the same. He said it, Shep, I want you to judge me off of Vaki and Craig Reynolds. Don't judge me off Jahmyr Gibbs. For a coach to say things like that, that shows you what they're in it for, and it's in it for the greater good of the players.
He connects with players better than any running backs coach he's ever been around. Why do you think that is? What is it about Tashard that he's able to connect with players?
It's because of that genuine piece. Like that's so lost in our game, and it's kind of unfortunate. You hear so many players every year. It happened this year. Like, wow, this is how it is here every day, or wow, I can't believe you just told me that to my face. And that really is a damn shame. Like, that players have to feel that way. Like, you're supposed to tell the player the truth. You're supposed to do these things, but we know that's not the case. But it's just the culture here in totality. When the head coach could bust in the room and look you in your face and tell you something that's going to help you, not something that you want to hear, it's the trickle-down effect. Now the coordinator, now the position coaches, and now even the player-to-player, that's the biggest piece to me in the organization. When it talks about accountability, it's the player-to-player accountability. You can have coach-to-player all you want, but when you start to get that player-to-player accountability and guys looking each other in the eyes, telling each other the truth, that's when you see the true growth in culture in the organization.
Was that part of your pitch when maybe he's thinking about coming here, just the accountability, just the culture here? What was the pitch to him?
It really wasn't a pitch. He's seen me. We literally text every day. That's no exaggeration. So he's seen me, and he's like, man, you're growing. Like, not just rising in rank and things like that, but growing, like, as a human, as a coach, knowledge. Like, man, I want to be a part of that. And no knock, let's not get this twisted now, because Steve Sarkisian runs a really good program down in Texas. So it's not that he felt boxed in or anything. He's just like, I know you, and I know exactly what you stand for. And it's almost like, if you could do that, man, I want to come see if I can do it. And it makes people want to be here. It's the same reason you got a line of players ready to sign here now, and that's never been the case. It's because people see an opportunity to grow. And I think everybody in this room wants that for yourselves, no matter what aspect of life you're in. And that opportunity is afforded to you here in Detroit.
Alex has posted some things on social social media that would suggest he's maybe not particularly thrilled with this contract or he's looking for an extension. Do you have any concern of that, kind of negatively impacting him as this thing moves forward?
Zero concern. Me and Alex are all good. I have zero concern. That player's a leader here. He's been a leader here. He's been an intricate piece in building the culture that's here, and I'm going to pay the respect that he's earned and that he's due. And whatever his private situations are, I'll let Alex address those when he's face-to-face with you all. What I can tell you as far as the concern with me has no effect of how I see Alex or how I view him. That is one of our captains. He's been one of our captains, and I still see it as such.
Just what you've seen from Hutch coming back, obviously working through that injury. A lot of times that's going to really motivate a player, especially with the trajectory he was on last year. He probably feels like he missed maybe something special. What have you seen from him coming back this offseason?
There's not a more resilient, mentally tough guy that type of injury during that type of season that he was on course of having could have happened to. I mean, he's out there. He's the most energetic guy on the field. He's ready to make the call out the huddle today. I went over there individual, and I said, Hutch, you know how I know you back? He's like, how? I said, because you touching that ground when you run that hoop. He said, and that's this little thing he does, like he's some supernatural cat, which he is. But I'm like, that's how I know you back, big dog. He said, I got you, DC. I was like, but no, the relationship me and Hutch have is unbelievable. The relationship he has with his peers, with his teammates, you would not know he's the caliber player he is by the way he carries himself. Like the way he works, his attention to detail in meetings, the way he helps people, the way he wants to be pushed and coached hard. Like, you start to get to a certain level and people think those guys at that top echelon and tier of the league, they're tapped out potentially. It's all over. Most of those guys is really special. They never have that thought in their mind. They want to be coached hard and they want to be pushed. The better the player, the harder you got to work to push and coach these guys. And he's the guy that's all in, and I'm elated to have him out there on the grass with us.
Is that one of your favorite things so far, just this spring, is seeing Hutch kind of take that step and come back to being himself?
No, I would say one of my favorite things is the feedback I'm getting from everybody. Miles Adams, the name you guys probably are a little unfamiliar bit with, number 66 defensive tackle. He stopped me today and was like, Coach Shep, I never knew what like a post drop and hook drop was, but because you all know my philosophy as far as holistic learning, holistic training and development for people. Because I believe, just like I told him, if you understand what that guy's doing, how much better does that make you? When we tell you you need to get to the set point of the quarterback and make sure you're rushing with urgency, now they understand the difference in when they're body on body versus zone, yada, 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 and the importance of it. It just makes everybody feel a part of something versus talking selectively to certain people. So, like, I'm a little different when it comes to that, guys. Like, I don't look at the Hutches, and I'm elated to have them. But I look and try to see what can we do with a Dan Jackson. How much better can this player be in our system? A Mitch Agude, Ahmed, who is an absolute joy to be around. He's never had a bad day, and he don't know what slow down means, but he'll learn. But that's the joy I get out of coaching, is developing, bringing people along, catching people up to the speed of an Aidan Hutchinson and Jack Campbell, so we're all moving in one accord.
You were talking about growth a little bit, the chance to grow in this building. I remember a year ago, last season, late in the season, you stood up there and talked about Dan giving you the opportunity to address the team, kind of preparing you for the role you're in now, giving you that opportunity. How different does it feel now addressing the team compared to then? And do you feel, is the pressure changed at all in one way or another, or not?
To be completely honest, I feel the same way I did then. I feel like I get the same respect I did then from the players, from my peers, as far as the coaching staff, the front office. I don't think a role should deem the respect that you get. And that's not just in this field. Like, I don't think the janitor should be treated any different than Miss Sheila. Like, I just don't. That's how I was raised. That's what I believe in. So me moving up in rank in my job is not going to change who I am. And I think people and the players feel that and they see it. And that's where the authenticity piece picks up over a title. If you know somebody's real, authentic, and this guy's all in to help me, I'm going to listen and do whatever he says. It's kind of a common sense thing. And like, I really keep it to that. As far as the only thing that feels different is I'm sitting at the head of the table and not next to AG. If you get into the truth of the differences. And then on the grass, everybody's looking to you. Like, it's not just the linebackers anymore. Dan asked me what was the biggest difference being on the field. We've been able to do the little things on the grass. It's now everyone's looking to you. It's not just the mic, the wheel, the sand. It's the corner may have a question for you, the safety, the nose tackle. And you got to be ready on the click of a dime to give those players an answer. So that goes back to the accountability piece. Just like I told the players, we hold you accountable, hold me accountable. If I told you to do something and it changes, you hold me to that. Why did it change? Always ask why. So, but as far as stature and status and things like that, I've never viewed that as making somebody superior to the next person.
One more on Hutch. You mentioned the hand touching the ground. What other signs are you looking for in the months ahead to know that physically he's at peak capacity, he's where he needs to be?
Oh, I mean, you have to put on pads and play real football. That's not just Hutch. That's all the players. Like, Dan has this thing, the pajama superheroes, the PJ All-American team. Like, guy, you can't get too enamored with the athlete and the skill set. They still have to play football. And that's mentally tough, physically toughness, and things like that. So I'm going to be hesitant to really speak out on any projections and things like that I have with Hutch, but I have full faith in the player because I know who he is. Outside of ability, I know who he is, and I know if anybody wants things for Hutch, it's him. So he's going to make sure he's back at the bar that he set for himself.